So a point in Perth on the road last weekend. How have the preparations been throughout the week?
Good, yeah, again we had a real honest appraisal of that game, analysis of it, looked at things that we've done well, and listen, it's important when you're not at your best, and we know we weren't, that you come away from it picking something up, and we picked up a good point there. I thought our defensive performance and our mentality as a team was really, really strong. So this week's been all about, improving on things we can improve on, but make sure we can still keep that steeliness. We're on the road again, it's important you keep that mentality, but hopefully the work that we do in the training ground this week takes us into a game where we can convert 1 point into 3.
And obviously you mentioned it there, but you must be pleased with the character the boys showed to, it wasn't maybe the best performance, but the fact that they kept running and worked hard to get that clean sheet in the end.
I think it is really important to emphasise, the fact that we're going to league leaders who are in top form. There's no denying that, and they're a good side. They managed this a good bit of time to work with them in terms of the style of play they want. But we made sure that we were resilient enough, we were resolute as a team, and there was a real mentality, I think, shown by the team, which is something I've been looking for since I came in the door, to make sure that, yes, you're right in saying that, when we're not our best, we don't lose a game. And I think we did that, and I think, as the game went on, I had real confidence in our back line in terms of keeping that clean sheet, and I think we had the best chances in the game, because when you've got a Ronan Hale on the pitch, and even Ronan, Ronan ran the hardest for our team, and that's a mentality to make sure you're doing all you can away from home to keep a clean sheet. But then, on the back of that, if we can kind of get into these areas again and capitalise on the opportunities that we do get, and as I say, try and convert that 1 point, with your clean sheet into 3 points.
And back on the road again tomorrow to face Partick Thistle. Are you looking forward to that one?
Very much, yeah. Difficult game, everyone is, but particularly away from home against a team that they're doing really well. I've been impressed with the way they play, watched their most recent games there, and we know we'll need to be our best. Last week we were at our best out of possession. This week I'm looking for us to be at our best out of possession and in possession. And that's a balance, that if we get right, will give us the greatest opportunity to win the game. But no, we need to be aware of our opponents. We'll respect them. They've got real strengths, but they've also got real weaknesses that we need to try and exploit.
And obviously they're a side that have, upset us on a couple of occasions already this season. You'll be hoping that the players are really hungry to kind of right that wrong.
Yeah, I think that's important. The players will be stinging from that, obviously, before I was here, 2 defeats to them. But we'll do all we can to make sure that we put in a level of performance, we execute a game plan that allows us to get the edge over them, in our third encounter. Hopefully we can come out on the other side of a win.
And any team news heading into the match?
Yeah, unfortunately young Miller Thompson picked up an injury when he was away with Scotland, so he won't be available. But pleased to say Ross Docherty's trained all week. We'll have a look at him this morning. KP is nearly back. Josh Street had a reserve game, so we're getting back, in terms of the ones that we want in the squad. But disappointing that we've not got Miller, but we've certainly got a lot of able bodies to come in and replace that.
And a couple of supporters buses heading down to the game tomorrow as well. You'll be hoping to give the fans something back.
Yeah, and last week, I made a special, mention to them, their support last week was outstanding, and that helps. There's no doubt about it. When the time on the pitch is difficult, you're getting through periods of the game where you're maybe there in top, but when you hear your crowd roaring you on, that 12th man's really, really important. And I know they'll be there tomorrow, and I know they'll be vocal tomorrow, and I'd like to thank them for all the efforts. I know the efforts they make to get down there. It's a long journey, but hopefully we can reward them with a performance and a result. But again, I'd like to put special thanks out to them for the backing that they give the players.
Tony, thank you for your time.
Thank you.